Hello everybody, and welcome back to another box opening. This time we have Digimon BT 10 Cross Encounter. And it's been a little while since my last video. I didn't do an opening for X Record because I only got one box of that set, and I ended up opening it off camera. And it was an alright box. Overall though, pretty excited about the BT10. Just got back from the pre-release, went 3-1 at that event and had a pretty good time. I might show off the deck I played at the end of the video, but let's get right into the opening. This set introduces the cross, Digicross mechanic, which is a little similar to the DNA Digivolution mechanic from BT8. I would say it functions in a similar way as like combining a bunch of Digimon in a stack, but instead of being like a free evolution, I am struggling to open this. It reduces play cost for the stuff if you have the specifically named Digimon instead of like DNA just requiring color and level. But overall, this is going to change up the game a lot, especially with the Cross Heart deck, which is looking to be one of, if not the best deck going into the BT10 format. So we'll get right into it. We have our Nene box topper, and we have our special. This is the reprint red deck stuff. I guess we can crack open this first. Let's see what we got. It's got like Gamamon is guaranteed, and then one reprint from what was supposed to be a structure deck, but we got it as box topper random packs, which is a little disappointing, but you know, it is what it is. And we have the Gamamon, which we were always going to get, and the Canadramon. So, I mean, Canadramon is pretty cool, but I don't think it's going to really see anything. This card was pretty interesting back in like 1.5 meta, BT4 meta, back when Rookie Rush was so prevalent, and you could just slam this guy down and really get actual value out of it. Nowadays, it's probably not going to see any play, but you know, who knows, with the EX stuff that's coming out that supports this playstyle, maybe you might play it. Heading on right into the pack opening, we'll take the first half of the box. I'm really interested in a lot of stuff in this set. The Bloom Lord and the Sakuyamon deck and the Skull Knight and Blue Flare and Crossheart. A lot of interesting stuff. And let's get right into it. We have Cubimon, that's for that Sakuyamon with the new Miko mode version of the deck. This card is played, I believe, in that. Reglucusmon, which this card was pretty good in pre-release. I don't know how well it'll really be used in constructed, but it's not a bad card. It's definitely good for sealed. Skull Nightmon, Mighty Axe mode. This is going to be used in the Skull Nightmon deck. Just a lot of support from previous sets that have culminated to what Skull Nightmon will be in this set. We have Weddedmon, which is just a vanilla 2-cost level 5 Evo. Assaultmon, which is another level 5 vanilla, but instead of being 2-cost, he's 10k DP, which his hard slam is the same as Weddedmon, but he costs 1 more, but he's 2k stronger, so I guess that's the trade-off. We have Soundbird Mon, which is lets you slot, when you attack, you can slot a purple Digimon under one of your tamers. This will be like used in that Bagger Armory deck if it ever actually comes together to be a real deck. High Vision Monoton, which is a level 4 that can Digicross for -2 for every you can use 3 Monoton on it. So if you have 3 Monoton in hand or in play, you can hard play the High Vision Monoton for 0, because these will each reduce the cost by, each Monoton will reduce the cost by 2. You can do it with less than the 3 Monoton, but it helps to have all 3. I don't think you're going to play this in any deck, but I mean, if you want to, you can. The Digicross mechanic usually, it has specifically named Digimon with like the Monotomons, and then you have the cost of what it reduces. So this is a Digicross -2 for every Monoton used in the sources. We have Mon, which is more Bagra Army stuff on play. Search the top cards of 4 cards of your deck, add on Bagra Army, and the Tamer for Bagra Army. We have Mon, which is just a vanilla 6, level 6, 3 cost Evo, 10 Hard Slam, 13k DP. Not a bad card, especially for sealed. But it's just a vanilla. We have Pikmons, which is the egg that you're going to play in the Cross Heart deck. This is just allows for extra draw power when attacking, which that deck is pretty good at doing. We have a Canadramon, which is the Gamamon deck, which is also another cool deck coming out of this format. This will be your boss monster, essentially. You can evolve it on top of all the colors, and it's kind of our first real rainbow deck, Canadramon, because all of the level 4 Gamamon stuff can evolve off of any Gamamon for a 2 cost, so it allows you to Evo, and this also does the same thing. It can evolve off of 3 with Gamamon in the name, so you can evolve on top of your level 4s that have Gamamon, and they all have Gamamon in their names. You have Beetle Gamamon, I don't remember what the blue one is, Wizen Gamamon is the green one, and then the black one, which is Canadramon, I think. It's the evil one. But this card's looking to be pretty cool. The deck is interesting. Don't think it's going to be like meta, but it'll be a fun little deck. And then we have Minervamon, our first SR of the box. I think this stuff, like the Minervamon stuff, and the Bagra Army as a whole, is not going to really be a thing this set, but come BT 11, we'll be getting more support for that. And I mean, this is a pretty cool card all on its own, though. The level 6 with Retaliation, when it dies, play a level 4, I believe, purple. Yeah, 4 lower purple. When your opponent plays a Digimon, yeah, it's a pretty cool card. Moving on. We have Sambora Angramon. It's a little disappointing. The Angoramon stuff is just kind of not there. And I'm going to put this SR over here. The Angoramon stuff just kind of lackluster. It's just generic green, really, when it comes down to it. And it's just not really focused enough to... it's not special or does anything interesting enough to be its own deck. We have Darkmon, which this card is a really powerful yellow card for those like security control decks, and then Venusmon, just giving sec -1 to anything when you attack. And it's just, especially in sealed, this was so strong at the pre-release. Ballistamon, which is a part of the Cross Heart deck. This is going to be able to be slotted underneath your Shoutmon Cross 4s to reduce those play costs. This card also gives those Shoutmons piercing, and it has blocker if you have another Digimon or Tamer with the Cross Heart trait. We have Greymon, which is just a level 4, but it's vanilla that has a 1 cost Evo. Not a lot to be said here. It's just a vanilla that has statted pretty fairly. We have Impulse Memory Boost. This is a memory boost that supports the Pulsemon deck. This is that 3 security style deck. It lets you play a Pulsemon from your hand without paying its cost when it comes into during the main phase. And then you can delay it for the gaining 2 memory because it is a memory booster. And it costs 3, which is not too bad. We have Brachiomon, which is a blue-black vanilla. I actually didn't see this card in pre-release, so this is the first time I'm really taking a look at it. And it's just your generic vanilla that can evolve off of the 2 colors, so it is what it is. We have the Defensive Plugin C, which is our plugin that you're going to see a lot more play in the Sakuyamon deck, because the Sakuyamon stuff is still going to be using those plugins very heavily. And it's a little bit more streamlined going into this new set. A lot of cool stuff that, like, I'm really excited to play the Sakuyamon deck myself. I think it's really cool. We have Pile Volkmon, which might as well be a vanilla, but he does have, you know, an effect that comes up. He is a 3 cost to Evo, 10 cost to hard drop, 11k. He gains 2k DP on your turn, so he becomes a 13k. And he does have Blitz, which did come up a few times at the pre-release. We have a Jartaramon, I believe this gets played in the Bloomlord Nightmon deck, which is a very cool green deck, doing a little feeling back to those green control days where you're going to be like suspending all of your opponent's Digimon and suspending, you know, gaining value from actually swinging with your own stuff. And it's a really cool card, and it's a really cool deck. Senken Mappa, which is the white option for the new Jesmon deck, essentially. Yes, it does just generically support Royal Knight, but I think it'll see play mostly, if at all, in the Jesmon deck. We have Zenjiro Tsuragi, which is one of our tamers. It supports the Crossheart deck. You'll be playing a lot of different tamers in of different colors in the Crossheart deck, and Zenjiro is one of them. He allows you to gain a memory when you Evo, and then when you play or when you hard play your Crossheart stuff, and then he when you play him, you can play a Ballistamon, which is helpful. And then we have our second SR, which is the Dark Nightmon X Antibody, which, again, the Dark Nightmon deck is looking to be pretty cool. It's interesting that Dark Nightmon is a level 5, but its X Antibody is a level 6. And it just finally has a real boss monster. The Dark Nightmon itself wasn't really a boss monster, but Dark Nightmon X is looking to be what that deck really needed to push forward and to be something. And not just a variant of D Brigade. We have Cherrymon, which is going to be C play. We have a Digisorption, which is something we haven't seen in a little bit. And it also allows you to redirect attacks at your suspended Digimon, which is really cool. This guy is going to be seen in the Bloomlord Nightmon deck. Very cool card. We have Burning Star Crusher, which is the option for the Crossheart deck. It allows you to choose one of your level 4 lower Shoutmon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than, and then security lets you dig and then add a card with Crossheart in its train. We have Sunflowermon, which is again more for that Bloomlord. Bloomlord, it's when Digivolving, you may suspend one of your green Digimon, and you may play a card with Vegetation or Plant or Fairy in its trait with 3k DP from your hand without playing its cost. So it allows you to get more board presence, which you're going to need for the Bloomlord Knight deck, which will become an even better deck come EX3 with the Hydramon. We have Healing Therapy, which is just a generic Sec -2. Then you may, if you have a Venusmon in play, up to 3 of your opponents gain Sec -1. It's 2 cost Evo, 2 cost option. Again, this is going to see play in the Venusmon deck, which is basically just security control, which, I mean, has always been an annoying deck in any format, and it'll continue to be a deck going forward, especially when it's getting tools like this. Asuramon, just a vanilla level 5. Cyberdramon, this is for the Blue Flare deck. If you have a Digimon with Blue Flare and its traits in play, you may by paying 3 memory, place this card under one of your Digimon as a Digivolution card, then unsuspend that Digimon. So you can slot it underneath from your hand, which I think hand that's the first time hand might be a keyword. But you can do from your hand, pay 3 memory, slot it underneath, unsuspend. It allows the Blue Flare deck to just keep going, which, if it doesn't die, is pretty strong. We have Mad Leomon, which is just your Bagra army. It's just a Bagra army cross, Digicross. It doesn't have specific names. It just uses Bagra army. So Mad Leomon, and maybe you'll play this in a Leomon deck. I'm not sure though. I don't know how that deck interacts with cards with just Leomon in their name, or if it has like actual synergy. We have Canadramon, which another strong card for the pre-release. It has blocker, and when it kills something once per turn during your opponent's turn, you can unsuspend it. So it has blocker essentially twice if it doesn't die, and then it has unsuspend this Digimon when you Digivolve, so you can kind of swing, and if you don't die, unsuspend when you Evo into this, and it's just strong for, it's another card that is very powerful for pre-release. As far as actual play, we'll see. Justice Kick, this is for the Jesmon deck, which is still going to be getting support, I think, even in the next set, or is it BT12? I don't know, or BT11, excuse me. The deck is still not quite there, the Jesmon deck, but it's a very cool deck. It's just, it still hasn't figured itself out, I think. We have Death Cannon, which this is an option for Beelzemon decks if they do choose to use it. I think Corona Blaster is still a little better, but, you know, this one's alright. We have Decker Greymon, which is the rare level 5 for the Blue Flare deck. This can evolve on top of a level 5 for 2. It has Armor Purge, so you can, if you've lined it up correctly, this card will have a lot of cool interaction with your Tamer, and you can like purge and keep your Metal Greymon alive, best case scenario. And it also has the Digicross 2 with Decramon and Metal Greymon. And then we have Sansoman, which is like the Darkmon, except it gives Sec -1 when Digivolving, and has that Sec -1 that Darkmon has as an inheritable trait. So very annoying yellow cards coming out of this set, honestly, but at the same time they are kind of cool. And we have Shortmon, which is a level 4 that evos for 1. It is a 3 cost. It's a hard drop, and it does only have 3k DP, but again, it is very cheap cost to evo, very cheap cost to hard play. It's not, you're using it as a stepping stone. You're not gonna really care about the fact that you can't evolve, or that it doesn't really have a lot of DP, because that's probably not what you're going to use it for if you are going to even try to use this card. We have Sandraman, which is a level 5 that I kept confusing for the Armor Purge Digimon that's a level 4 in this set. Again, it's just another vanilla. A lot of vanillas this set, but that's not always a bad thing. And they're great for sealed, you know, stuff like this with 2 cost to evo, level 5, 5 cost to hard drop, 6k DP statted. Again, this stuff is not bad, you know, they're good for the game, especially in a sealed environment, which you know, right now, that's what most people are doing this weekend with the cross encounter. We have Wizen Gamamon, which again is one of those Gamamon cards. He has Piercing. This card was an MVP, honestly, for me. But we'll get to that later. Again, it's just it's for the Gamamon deck. Darulumon, which is the yellow Digimon for the Ballistamon was our green Digimon for Crossheart. Darulumon is our yellow. This card will you're going to play this at 4 along with the Ballistamons and the Shoutmons and the Pikmons and the Starmons. They're all the level pieces for your Crossheart. We have Gaussmon, which is the level 3 for the Blue Flare deck. On deletion, play a Blue Flare from hand, level 4 suspended. It's pretty alright. Gaussmon gains Retaliation if you have 10 or more cards in grave, so it supports the purple's whole fill up your trash strategy. We have Poyon Dump, which is the green option for the Angoramon deck. One of your Digimon gains Piercing. And then if it has the Angoramon stuff, it gains Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. It's not a bad card, but I don't see anyone actually playing it. Lonka Adeska. This is for the Pulsemon deck as well. 8 cost option. If you have 3 or more security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 12k DP for the turn. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, place one of your opponent's Digimon face down on top of their security stack. So it allows you to either Wyvern's Breath something, essentially, or Chaos Degradation. It's not a bad card. I don't know how it will see play, but we'll see how it goes going forward. The Pulsemon deck continues to get a bunch of support as we continue to get more of the Pulsemon line. In this set, we have the Aresmon, Grand Soul, which is the 8 cost option for the Bloom Lord. And when your opponent has 2 or more suspended green, or if you have 2 or more suspended green cards, you gain it gains -2 for cost. So suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the owner's deck. It's essentially Gigadeath for just the Bloomlord Knight deck. Costs 6, which I believe Gigadeath also costs 6, but it is only green and not green-blue, so you don't need to worry about those color requirements. And it bounces to the bottom of the deck, which I believe Gigadeath only bounces to the hand. I'm not certain on that. We have Gamamon, which is the Bagra Army level 4. We have another Weissmon, and we have a Nene, regular art Nene, to go with our box topper Nene over here. She is for the Twilight deck, but I believe she also, it's the Dark Nightmon deck essentially, but I believe you might use her in the Crossheart deck. I'm not sure, I don't remember. Actually, looking at her effect, probably not. We have Canadramon, which is the boss monster right now for the Bagra Army deck, since it doesn't really have an actual boss. We have Tinkermon, which is it's again more sec control stuff. It's on play. One of your opponent's Digimon level 5 or lower gains sec -1, which again is pretty cool. Red Vegemon, I think you play this in the Bloomlord Knight deck. It seems like it's statted to be that way. Balmon, which is support for Beelzemon. This allows you to trash the top 3 when you attack, and then if you have 10 or more cards in your trash when it's deleted, you can play a Beelzemon from your trash without paying its cost, which is pretty cool. I think this card will go into your Beelzemon decks as your level 5, and you can like take out just generic level 5s for this guy who's going to support your actual Beelzemon strategy. And in the Beelzemon deck, this card was alright and sealed for this format, but unless, like, you only have access to the one Beelzemon, so in an actual Beelzemon deck, you're going to obviously have access to all of the different Beelzemons that you're choosing to play. We have Plasma Decadron Launcher. This card is... I'm torn, because this card, it's a Cocoidous Breath that can only bounce level 6 or higher. It does cost 5 if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon, and then it returns one of your its security is just Cocoidous Breath. I'm a little torn on it. I think it's a good card, but I don't think it's a great card. It could be better is where I feel. I wish that it didn't have that restriction of level 6 or higher, just because it does feel bad when your opponent is just beating you down with like level 5s and you can't do anything about it. We have Pulsemon, which gains blocker. He can also evolve off of BBmon, any BBmon for 0, which I'm surprised just now that's happening with these Pulsemons, but this is a yellow Pulsemon, which is also interesting, since most of them have been yellow, except for like the 1 or 2 green ones. I guess so you could play the deck in different color. He just gains blocker when you have that 3 security. Is it 3 or less? Yes, 3 or less, so you don't need to be at exactly 3 with him, as you would with a lot of the other cards in the deck. We have Gamamon, which is just a vanilla level 5. We have Breaklaw, which is a red option, 1 cost. One of your Digimon gains 2,000 DP, then by placing one Digimon with Gamamon in its name from your hand under one of your Digimon as the bottom Digivolution source, you gain 1 memory. So, and then its security is you can play a Gamamon from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. It's not a bad card. You will probably play this in the Gamamon deck. It seems like it's pretty memory efficient for cheating out and also giving you that draw power. We have Ranamon, which is played in that new Sakuyamon deck. It allows you to, on play, dig for your options and a Yellow Tamer. Oh, we have Monimon, which is the Monoton Twilight deck. It's level 2. Finally they have an egg. And we have Ruli, which is a Memory Tamer for green, which supports the Angoramon deck, if you want to play that. And we have the Blazing Memory Boost, which has the typo of calling the blue flare tamer Christopher instead of his Japanese name, which they actually ended up using the Japanese names for all the characters in this set instead of the Digimon Fusion names, which were used in America for a long time. We have Mushmon, a level 3 that costs 2 to hard play, 0 to Evo. We have Balukomon, a level 3 that costs 2 to hard play, but 2 to Evo. But I guess he is 5k DP. I don't think you're going to play this in any deck, but he you know, for pre-release, he was alright. We have Monoton, it's on play. You add 2 cards with black, 2 that are either black with Nightmon or Deadly Axemon in their name or Twilight in their traits from your deck. Reveal the top 4 to do so. We have Starmons, which all of the Cross Heart cards also have, like, Evolve for X with Cross Heart. And he's a piece for your Cross 4, as well as having the Draw 1 when it has Shoutmon in its name when you attack, and the save on deletion, which the save mechanic is slotting a card underneath your tamers to be used as sources for later. We have Buzzing Fist, which is the purple option for the Bagra army. This actually is eroded already because it says that you can, or no, is it not this card? There's a card that has to use the specific tamer's name, and it's not. They messed it up. A lot of the options in this set have already been eroded, which I think is very funny. Don Dokomon, which is just a vanilla level 4. Gaussmon again. Shoutmon. This is our first Shoutmon. He's the heart and soul of your deck. You're going to on play reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and then add 1 Digimon with and Tamer with Cross Heart in their traits. That's pretty good. And it has the save option, and it gives your Cross Heart Digimon Rush, which allows you to play them for cheap for their Digicross, and then swing in with them right away in the same turn. Canadramon, which is for that blue flare deck. On play, draw a card, and then for each Digimon your opponent has in play, draw another card. On deletion, you can slot him underneath your Tamer. Chuchumon again, Immortal Ruler. This is the Skull Nightmon option. It costs 0, and while you have a Nene, you can use this card without meeting its color requirements. You trash the top 3 cards of your deck, then you may play 1 Dark Knight from your trash for its play cost. If you have a Digimon with Digicross requirements by this effect, you can also place cards from the trash in this Digivolution cards for this Digicross. So it allows you to cheat out your Skull Nightmon, and it allows you to Digicross for cheaper because it allows you to also do it from your trash. And then we have Hero of the Skies, which is another red option for the Cross Heart deck. It's got a lot of things going on with it. You can activate all of the effects below if you have a Shoutmon Cross 4 or Cross 5. One of your Digimon Cross alternate traits gains Sec +1 and you draw 2, but if you don't have the Cross 5, you can only activate one of those effects. Either way, it's a pretty good effect, and its security just adds it to your hand. So even if you don't have the Cross 5, that's going to be a good effect, because you're going to either draw 2 or you're going to gain Sec+. So, I mean, it's really a win-win either way. Darulumon, Sandoramon, Wedenmon, Defensive Plugin C, Ballistamon, Osuramon, Shortmon, Malbergermon. This is for the Blue Flare deck. I'm going to try to only comment on stuff that we haven't seen before, and really that isn't a vanilla. On deletion, you can save it by slotting it underneath, and it allows you to, if your opponent has a bunch of Digimon, you can just like stun them. That's the Blue Flare kind of strategy, is like, oh, you built wide, well, I'm gonna punish you for it. Pikmons, Tokomon, Shoutmon Cross 4, which is the big bad boogeyman of the format. This card is really good. It has the Digicross -2 for if you use Shoutmon, Ballistamon, Darulumon, and Starmons, meaning he will be -8, so he'll be a 1 cost, level 4, And when he dies, you gain... when he dies, you can save up to 2 of his materials, as well as on play he draws 2. So basically, 1 cost, draw 2, and then, you know, you're off to the races. Obviously, that's only if the deck actually, you know, if you draw all of your pieces, but in the deck, you will be assembling your pieces pretty consistently. The deck is very consistent, very scary, and it is looking to be the best deck. It already was in the Japanese meta, and it's looking to be that way over here, but we will see. Things don't always shake out the same way. And then we have a Lotus Mon. I didn't even know this was a card in this set. Looks like it's just more support for that Bloom Lord style of deck. When Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. It does not unsuspend, so more of that green control style of deck. We've got Red Vegiemon, Ballmon, Plasma Decadric Launcher, Impulse Memory Boost, Gamamon, Troopmon, Pulsemon, Blastmon, Palmon, which is the level 3 for the Bloomlord deck, Shoutmon Cross 4B, which is basically Cross 4. You can use it with Cross 4 and Beelzemon, and then Thetismon, which is the Jellymon level 5. When Digivolving, if you have 6 or fewer cards in your hand, you can draw 2, and then when attacking, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, by trashing 2 cards from your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. So it's Jellymon still doing that Jellymon thing where it can have a big hand and keep swinging and unsuspending and having jamming, and it's a pretty cool card. And then we have Achillesmon, which is another level 6 for that Pulsemon deck. If you have 2 or fewer security, recover till you have recover 1, so you'll go up to 3. And then if you have 3 security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5k DP for the turn, and if you have 3 or fewer security cards, you gain 2 memory. That's his when attacking once per turn. It's a pretty cool card. Again, I've always loved that Pulsemon deck, so I might give it a spin again this format. We have Wizen Gamamon, Cyberdramon, Golemon, Darkmon, Ponyo Dump, Burning Star Crusher, Mad Leomon, Second Mappa, Renamon, Arturdramon, Sansoman, and we have our Omnimon X Antibody. Very cool card. It's probably going to replace the old Omnimon X Antibody for a lot of people, but this card is when Digivolving, return all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level to the bottom of their deck. So it's a board wipe, depending on, you know, what's going on, and even if it only gets rid of one thing, that thing is going to be their highest level Digimon, so that's always going to be impactful. And then when attacking, you and when Digivolving, by placing an X Antibody or level 6 from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of your deck, you can reveal your opponent's security and trash one, then place the rest of your opponent's security face down. Then your opponent shuffles their security stack. So the way that got ruled in Japan, at first people thought that you could Congo and then Omnimon X Antibody, and it would end up actually making you not be able to give them back their security, but I think Bandai ended up ruling it that because this places the security back down, you actually are fine, and it doesn't actually work that way, which would have been broken. The card would be like insanely broken. Regulusmon, Tinkermon, like Congo would be banned if that were the case. Assaultmon, Cherrymon, Tactimon, Healing Therapy, High Vision Monoton, Monimon, Death the Cannon, Taumon. We have Lotusmon, and we have our first alt art, which is Shoutmon King version, which we saw a Shoutmon earlier. I believe it's the same card, Shoutmon King version, but this is the alternate art for that card. Can I find it? Here we go. Oh no, this is a different card actually. Oh yes, the King version, right. I believe this is the one that lets you use this card's name is treated as Shoutmon, and then you may return one card with Digicross requirements in your trash to your hand when you play this card, and you can Digicross 2 for him with it's one card with Digicross in its trait. So you slide a Digicross in its trait underneath him, play him for 3, add a Shoutmon back to hand. It's combo with the Cross Heart deck. But that's our alt art. So, or is this no? This is not even an alt art. This is a secret. I didn't know that was a secret. It might be the alt art, but it is just a secret. We have Quetzalmon, Saber Angoromon, Skull Nightmon, Mighty Axe Mode, Gazimon, Brachiomon, Sunflowermon, Cubimon, Demimaramon, Justice Kick, Skull Beluchimon. We have Decker Greymon, and we have Shoutmon Cross 5, which is the Sec +2 guy who has blocker, or Sec +1 with blocker and material save. He's pretty good. I believe you use him with the Sparrowmon. He's basically a Cross 4, but you use Sparrowmon as well as the other stuff. You have Defensive Plugin C, Technimon, High Vision Monoton, Cubimon, Sandroromon, Gamamon, Quetzalmon, Senkin Mappa, Loken Atz, Grandasol, Thetismon, and Taiki Kudo, which is our main tamer for the Crossheart deck. He allows you to suspend to use the stuff underneath your tamers for the Digicross. We have Soundbird Mon, Kukuamon, Beluchomon, Buzzing Fist, Dondokomon, Mushroomon, Starmons, Breaklaw, Canadramon, Griffinomon. We have the Justimon Critical Arm, which is the more support for that Justimon deck, like the option, and it's just another arm for the many various arms that he has going on. And then we have Lamortmon, which is the level 5 for the Angoromon deck. Moving on to the second half of the box, try to get through this a little faster. We have been going for a little bit at this point, so don't want to bore you guys too much. And then we'll do a quick deck check on what I played at the pre-release. We have Kukuamon, Shortmon, Brachiomon, Weddenmon, Golemon, Healing Therapy, Assaultmon, Monoton, Damemon, Renamon, Thetismon, and we have Justmon X Antibody. The Justmon X Antibody stuff is really cool, bringing new life back to that deck. And then Justmon GX, just such cool stuff for the new structure deck as well, because we just got the Justmon structure deck. So that combined with the stuff that's out of this set, looking to be pretty fun. Cool to see Justmon back. Burning Star Crusher, Cyberdramon, Gazimon, Wizengamma, Impulse Memory, Balmon, Saber Angoromon, Demimaramon, Justice Kick, Beelzemon, Hero of the Skies, and Metal Greymon, which is another SR. It's funny that the Decker, which is like the better, or like the one you would put on top, is actually a lower rarity than just the Metal Greymon. Darkmon, Ballistamon, Troopmon, Red Veggie, Soundbird, Regulicus, Tinker, Breaklaw, Canadra, Griffo, Sparrowmon. This is our first Sparrowmon and our first Kitty Hawk. This is what I was talking about with the option that specifically says Christopher, not Kitty Hawk, but it has been eroded already. And he is a memory tamer for the Blue Flare deck, which I actually really enjoyed playing around with it a little bit in the pre-release, the Blue Flare mechanics, so I'm hoping to actually build that deck for BT10. Plasma Decadric Launcher, Pion Dump, Mad Leo, Star, Dondoko, Mushroom, Buzzing Fist, Shoutmon Cross 4B, Blastmon, Skull Beluchimon, we have Shoutmon Cross 5B, and we have Zanguro, or Zenjiro. We have Beluchomon, Monoton, Healing Therapy, Golemon, Wedden, Cherry, QB, Reinforced Plugin O, Bosamon, Talmon, Kiriha again, and we have our alt art Sakuyamon Maiden mode, which I'm surprised they... Is it supposed to be maid mode, or could they not fit maiden mode? Okay, pretty cool. The alt art is very nice. Nice foiling there on the alt art. So we have, these are our two big hits, the maid mode and the king version. Again, I want to play the Sakuyamon deck too, so glad to have that. And I have one from my packs that I got for going 3-1 as well, so very excited. Puyo Dump, Quetzalmon, Darkmon, Ballistamon, Asuramon, Saber Angoramon, Tinkermon, Death to Cannon, Bibidomon, which is the blue flare egg, I believe, Palmon, Achillesmon, and Dark Nightmon, which has the Digicross with Skull Nightmon and Deadly Axemon. We have Gazimon, Cyberdramon, Skull Nightmon Mighty Axe Mode, Balmon, Impulse Memory, Defensive Plugin, C, Sunflowermon, Shoutmon, Decadramon, Demimera, Lotus, and Greymon. Which Greymon was, funnily enough, we were allowed to use the, what was it, the BT8 Agumon promo that they gave out for the pre-release, and I was using it to search for Greymon. I never got it to actually go off, but in theory, you would think it would work that way. Burning Star Crusher, Regulusmon, Kakuamon, Troopmon, Wizengamma, Gogmamon, Soundbird Mon, Boluchimon, or Skullboluchimon, Bibidomon, Palmon, Justimon Critical Arm, and Lamortmon. Down to just 3 more packs. And we've got High Vision Monoton, Sendorimon, Gauss, Pulse, Brachio, Dorilu, Mad Leomon, Reinforced Plugins O, Beelzemon, Shoutmon Cross 4B, Sistermon CL, and the Akiri Hinamoto, who I believe would have been called Angie if they had the dub names. Again, she is for the Crossheart deck. You're going to play her and Zenjiro and Taiki. It's going to be a lot of tamers of varying colors. And she allows you to use your Dorillumon. She's basically the equivalent of Zenjiro, but for Dorillumon instead of Belastamon. Red Vegemon, Tactimon, Assaultmon, Plasma Decker Launcher, Shortmon, Dazzling Fist, Starmons, Male Bergermon, Tokomon, Bosamon, Angoramon, and Yu Amano. He's the purple Bagra Army tamer. And we'll probably get a new U in BT12, but we'll see. And this is the last pack. We have Mushroomon, Dodonkomon, Monotomon, Bolukomon, Quetzalmon, Kakuamon, Troopmon, Blastmon, Talmon, Spadamon, Immortal Ruler, and we got the Bloom Lordmon as our last card. Go through these SRs and secrets again one more time. We have Bloom Lord, we have the Shoutmon King version as our secret, we have the Sakuyamon as our alt art, and we have Metal Gray, we have Just X, we have Omnimon X, we have Dark Knight X, and we have Minervamon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe 6 is what you're supposed to have in a box. If not, I'll see later. Maybe I missed a few. It's either 6 or 8, and if it's 8, they're in here somewhere. I'll have to track them down at the end or later. Let's just put these over here real fast, and let me grab my deck box and show you guys what I played at the pre-release. So, this is not going to be in order because I shuffled it for my last game and I never put it back in order afterwards. So we were 4-egg gaming. We got the Pikmon, Bosamon, Demimera, and Toko. For those of you who don't know, at pre-release you don't need to worry about color, so you can just evolve on top of different Digimon of different color as long as you follow the level requirement. And the only time color matters in Digimon for pre-release is with the option cards, which I did actually play a few this time around. But we'll get into it. We got the Jesmon X Antibody Alt-Art, which I did pull out of my pre-release packs. And we also got the Jesmon GX, which I pulled out of my pre-release. Needless to say, my table was not too happy with me getting these packs. The guy did shuffle the box, and I just got the lucky packs. We have Metal Greymon. We have... Oh, no, this is not in the deck. Neither is this. I don't know how those got mixed in, but there was Mervamon and Bloomlord. We have Gazimon, Wizen Gamma, which we run 2 Wizen Gamma, so you'll see that again later. Pliavolca, Quetzalmon, Kukuamon, Gaussmon, Plasma Decker, Cherrymon, Chumon, Monota, Dodoko, Golemon, Beelzemon, Cherrymon, Asuramon, Ballmon, Death the Cannon, Wizen Gamma again, Shortmon, Weddenmon, Plasma Decker again, Balukamon, Shortmon again, Canadramon, Soundbird Mon, Decker Greymon, Regulusmon, Sansoman, Pulsemon, Darkmon, which the Sansoman Darkmon came up a lot. I tried to stack these two on top of each other as much as possible just for that control because it's so strong. Ballistamon, Tinkermon, Greymon, the Agumon that helped me search for the Greymon, Malbirdmon, and a second Balemon. And then we have the, stuff we pulled out of the packs. Bloomlord Nightmon. We had the Minervamon. The Agumon. This was a Agumon my buddy gave me. Gamamon, Spatamon, Gogmamons, Blastmon, Mad Leo, Sandori, Sistermon Ciel, Griffomon. I got a pre-release Taiki. My other pre-release card was a pre-release of Renamon that I did trade away. Assaultmon, Tacnymon, High Vision Monota, Troopmon, Samber, Cross 4. I didn't play Cross 4 because the only Digicross Digimon I pulled was the Ballistamon, and I also didn't play the Taiki because I just didn't see the point. I wasn't really Digicrossing today. Talmon, Archaja, Defensive Plugin, Reinforcement Plugin, Impulse, Hero of the Sky, Break Claw, Ponyo Jump, Justy Kick, Healing Therapy, Buzzing Fist, and then these were from the anniversary pack, the Metal Greymon, Devimon, and Maramon. And that's going to do it for everything that I have going on for BT10. I think going forward, I'm not going to buy any more sealed product for this set. I will probably just buy singles. I am dropping my cards. I guess I can take a look at the Winners Pack stuff as well, which I got right over here, which is Metal Greymon, Jesmon X, Maiden Mode, Tinker, Cyberdrum, Pulsemon, Sandora, QB, Troop, Gauss, Toko, Blast, Pal, Gray, Justy, Sanzo, Red Veggie, Soundbird, Asura, Dark, Saber, Quetzal, Gole, Choo Choo, Malbirdmon, Pick, Shoutmon Cross 5B, Lamort, Buzzing Fist, Doduko, Mushroom, Starsmons, Monota, Ballista, Regulus, Moni, Shoutmon, Decardra, Shout 4, Gazi, Brachio, Sunflower, QB, Soundbird, Kukua, Baluko, Death the Cannon, Breaklaw, Talmon, Gallus Gamma, Cherrymon, Tacti, Healing Therapy, High Vision, Quetzal, Saber, Skull Knight, BL's Rena, Artarja, Sparrow, Blazing Memory Boost, Dark, Polio, Burning Star Crusher, Mad Leo, Regulus, Tinker, Assaultmon, Simping Boko, Canadramon, and Justice Kick. And that is everything I have for BT10. So, anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for your patience. I know I don't make these too often, but whenever a new set comes out, I will try to post more often, and I apologize for not having a BT10 one or a BT9 one. I will do my best to do more of these in the future, though. Anyway, take care and see you in the next one.